All right, at this time I would like to introduce the great principal of DGTA Academy, Dr. Lowe.
Good morning, Madam President Cook, Madam Vice President Best, board members, superintendent, our PTA President, Mrs. Castillo, special dignitaries, and scholars. I am Dr. April Lowe, and it is a wonderful day here because we are adding to a great school that is already beaming with pride. The scholars, staff, and our community will definitely benefit from our additional space dedicated to special subjects like science enrichment, vocal and instrumental music, as well as expanding our maker space to create even more award-winning STEM devices. With the ability to transform the space, we will also have an additional multi-purpose room for different events. On behalf of our school community, thank you for not only expanding our physical space, but also expanding our vision to educate our scholars. Thank you. At this time, I would like to invite Mr. Glover, our superintendent.
To our distinguished guests, starting with our scholars, because everything that we do is for you, making sure that we are putting the best that we can for you to be great, so we know you'll be the one standing up here one day. Great morning to all of us. First and foremost, say to our board president Cook, to our vice president Best, to our distinguished board members, Dr. Lowe, and all of the students and staff here, our distinguished guests. We have all of our congressional leaders, our senators, our assemblywomen. This work today is because of your work and efforts, and I'd be remiss if I didn't first of all say thank you. You put children first, which is what we know. Your jobs are very detailed. You have a lot of folks you represent, but at the core of your work is always making sure what's best for the community. And I'm a true believer that community starts with our children and our families, and you made sure that our school, our district, was put at the forefront of conversations. Without going into all the elaborate details of behind-the-scenes activities that took place to make sure that we got this done today, I want to say thank you. As a second-year superintendent of a great district, in my opinion, a great community of people, we've had the opportunity to have discussions about what it looks to expand our space for our kids. I remember our conversations when I first met with our PTA president and said we need more space, and we actually do. But it's not just the physical space. It's the space that allows you to be creative thinkers, to be innovative. It allows you to also be able to spread your wings and continue to show the greatness that comes out of our community. The space that we are about to break ground is not just about adults stand up here for photo ops. It's about children continue to have a true learning environment that represents 21st century activities. We should be able to compete with anyone across the country, but we have to have the resources. With the help of those folks who work on the legislative side, those who work in the Hillside Board of Education side, our parents, and our great partnerships and architects, this new addition to our building will allow you to continue to be great forward thinkers. I'm happy to be at as a catalyst to this work, but I'm also happy to be able to do this in the name of children. There are so many folks who we want to thank, and I'd be remiss if I just went down the list of names. So I say, on behalf of this great Board of Education, on behalf of the chair that I sit in, thank you to everyone, and we look forward to the continued partnership to make sure that our students are put first and they have the resources that it takes to make them become the great scholars that we know they'll become. Thank you very much. Now I turn it over to our board president.
Good morning. First, I would like to start off by saying welcome to our scholars and welcome to our dignitaries and guests. This project didn't just start yesterday, and as our superintendent stated, our PTA president, Evelyn Castillo, if she could stand up, saw the need for different things to happen when this school was still called Cowan Coolidge, and we met. And the conversation went around starting, we need a new addition to the school, which had been a conversation for years. It was like a caterpillar that never gained its wings to become a butterfly. We also talked about having a playground here that was in great condition for our students to play on, and I think we have successfully filled that goal
put what is now known as Deanna Taylor, as well as putting a fence around the front of the school because we know this area is known to have deer running through the yards. So she made a few requests, and we just would like to say thank you to her because we're here now. But this was a project of many people. It didn't just come about with one person. When she brought us to the table, she brought myself and Chairman Anthony Salters. We heard her words, we agreed with her, and not only that, we knew we had to get the proper people to the table also to make this project happen. So at this time, I'm going to allow them to come up one by one because let's give them first a round of applause for all the work that they have done to make this happen today. It's been a very long road. COVID stopped us the first time, it stopped us the second time, and we're here today because we never gave up. So first I would like to bring up Chairman Anthony Salters.
Thank you, School Board President Cook. Thank you, I'm honored to be here today. Greetings to board members, Superintendent Glover, Principal Lowe, PTA President Castillo. Thank you. Greetings to our wonderful, amazing students. And since the pandemic, the fact that you're here and the fact that you're selected to be here says a lot about you. Greetings to our overworked, underpaid staff. Thank you for being here. Just prior to the pandemic, Board President Cook and myself, as she started explaining, wanted to hear complaints and concerns that the school administration and the parents had, and we met with President Castillo at the time. She voiced 4 concerns that day. 1, for safety purposes, the school had no barrier fence from the street to the playground while the children were outside. The fence is up now. The school operated with 1 principal, no VP, no other administrative help. Now, for the most part, there's a VP assigned here, so that issue has been resolved. Some even asked for new school leadership. That's been resolved. The school has new leadership. But the main concern here was the lack of space. And working with Senator Cryan, who could not be here today, Senator Rice, who cannot be here today, but sent Mr. Lionel Leach, his Chief of Staff, here to represent him, Assemblywoman Annette Keano, and Assemblyman Reginald Atkins. We impressed upon how important this project was, and they secured, going directly to Governor Murphy, an extra $750,000 for us to begin this project. So could you give them a round of applause? Any of you wanted to say anything? Okay, our program just got a lot shorter. Thank you, President.
I know our program just got a lot shorter, but I'm still going to introduce our esteemed guests. So our students know who's representing them on the state level. I'm going to ask that Assemblywoman Annette Quijano stand up, Assemblyman Reverend Atkins stand up, and you know our Chairman Salters, who is fighting for Hillside all the way. Just please stand up again. And we're going to ask that Senator Rice, Chief of Staff, Lionel, stand up. And we wish Senator Rice well, because Senator Rice actually played a big part in this as well. We weren't part of his district, but he heard our cry and he said, you know what, I'm going to support you on the floor. And that's what it's all about. We can't do it by ourselves. We need people in Hillside, all the way to Trenton, and there's some things we have to take a little bit further to Washington, D.C., but that's why we have great people that we work with. And that starts with keeping the communication lines open. And at this time, I want to thank my board members because the final step was the vote that took place last Thursday. Because without that vote, this project would not be here today either. So I asked them to stand up. We have Vice President Best here with us today, Board Member Simmons, we have Board Member Shapiro, we have Board Member Givens, and we have Board Member Lende. And our other board members wish they could be here today, but they could not, but they are with us in spirit. And at this time, we have E and V here with us. We have Maria and Dan, and they're the engineers who start the plans for this project, and we probably drove them crazy the last 4 years. So at this time, I'm gonna ask that our board members, one second. I'm going to ask that our board members come forward. We're going to have our groundbreaking ceremony and our superintendent, but as well I would ask that Dr. David Eichenholz come up. He's our business administrator, and he has worked tirelessly hearing our plans, working with E&V to make this happen as well. So we're going to grab our shovels. We have some our wonderful custodians. Bring our shovels out to our board members and guests. And I also want to give a shout out to Dave DeFlori, because he's the man who, when these projects are taking place, is going to set up and make sure that it is safe for our students and monitor the work that's going to be done here on our grounds. This time we're going to ask our custodians to move some things out of the way so we can start our groundbreaking.
Okay. I need this. I can't see you. Okay. There you go. Everybody look up. Thank you. Well, let me get the check. Okay. One more. Now you want to scoop it down?
Here, take this so we can have it more.
Everybody get it? Okay.
For me.
Okay, let's look up real quick. Go ahead and take a shot. Go ahead.
All right.
Hold it. One more.
Now you gotta get the flip. Yeah, the flip.
Okay, now.
Only one slip. Good. Let's not get it wrong.
Their shoes.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. Kids, come on.
What about the kids? I don't want to get nobody when we go. Yeah, we got the kids.
Yeah, I don't want any dirt.
Do the flip? You ready? Come on, Jay, stand behind me. You ready?
No. Are you in here? Not yet.
No, not yet.
Just been flipping.
Okay, no. You ready? You ready?
Yeah.
Gotta catch this. Here we go.
One more time. Hold it. Let me change the shutter. Okay. Tell me when you're ready.
1, 2, 3.
Project almost done.
Let's try it again.
Anybody else?
Come on, kids.
We'll bring the students in now.
Let's get the tiny one. Come on, come on. Come on, sweetie. Got it? Can we help you? Careful. Got it? You got it? You got it? Here, let's see.
It's hard to get it with.
Guys, come on.
Single.
Come on, kids.
Bring them on this side. Come on this side.
She said it. Carry a little. Grab it. Go around and grab one. You need a shovel? Just a little bit.
Just a little bit, just a tiny bit.
Wait a minute. One more. We have another shovel.
Do me a favor. Bring her right in the middle.
We'll go in the middle over there. She wants to stay right here, she said. She said good right here.
Listen, little one. Tell her make sure she look this way.
Look this way, honey. She said she good right here.
All right.
Put it down, put it down. You don't have to look it up.
Look this way.
Look that way.
You got to look this way. Let me know when. Okay, look like everybody ready. Here we go.
All right, guys. You want to do that? Can you lift that? Okay.
Now drop it on
Okay,
yourself.
hold on 1 second.
You want to flip it? We'll flip it in a minute, okay? I'll help you.
You gotta look at the camera.
Supply chain is getting prices.
Okay. You want to flip it? Let's just flip it over this way. All right, let's flip it. There you go. Yay.
Ho, ho, ho.